Everybody at the party's waiting to listen to a television premiere. It's Madonna's 1979 demo disc, the one that actually helped launch her career. As we listen to Love on the Run, please remember that later Madonna fought to stop this ever being played. Well, I think it still could be a hit. Vogue-wise, Madonna has come a long way since her first manager and mentor, Camille Barbone, discovered her. She's never talked about those early days until tonight. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Robin. It's nice to be here.
You've never, ever given a television interview about those early days. Why are you breaking your silence?
Well, it's come to a culmination for me over the years. I mean, I've read numbers of interviews by Madonna, people writing stories, other TV shows, and you get the impression that Madonna did it all alone. And I'm just here to say that there were a number of people in the old days, and there are a lot of people now that helped to make Madonna the star she is.
That's great. You get a lot of credit for discovering her. How did you actually find Madonna?
Well, our paths crossed at a place in New York City called the Music Building. It's 12 stories of nothing but music, recording studios, rehearsal studios. I owned a studio there. We kept banging into each other in hallways and elevators, and she was just a very interesting person to watch. Eventually, I got to hear demo, and eventually I went to a show, and I saw her live, and I knew in an instant that she was going to be big.
What did you know in that instant?
Madonna has an extraordinary ability. She understands what I call it's body-mind coordination. She knows how she looks. And when she's on stage and dealing with the music, she gives the audience a feeling of being inside her and knowing what she's feeling. And it's in very few performers. I'd say only the ones that have made it very, very big, like a Michael Jackson, like a Bruce Springsteen, possess it.
Camille, we know that nothing ever happens overnight stardom in show business. Those were early days that were struggling, that were painful.
They were terrible
Just how
days.
broke was Madonna?
She came to New York. She had 2 suitcases and a guitar. No place to live. She was living in the Music Building.
Homeless?
Yes, definitely homeless. She didn't have any money for food. I mean, she would go on a date and have dinner. She would ask someone to loan her some money. I mean, she really came to New York with just her dream. And when I found her, it was important to make her feel secure and taken care of. So the first thing I did was move her out of the Music Building. She wanted to live on 30th Street. She found a small room. She loved it. She lived there 2 weeks and was robbed. They only took her photographs. Really upset us both, so I moved her right out of there to a small apartment on the Upper West Side.
And what we're going to do now is listen to one of the very first records that Madonna made with you. It is called High Society, and we're going to take a look at some of your exclusive photos at the same time.
Wonderful.
Society's boy, you make some little rich girl a toy. My mistake, didn't think that you'd be another victim of a high society. Your
Now, Camille, you invested a lot of time in Madonna. What was the reaction, first of all, when people heard that record?
Well, ironically enough, the music industry was not taken by her demo tapes. I mean, it was more Madonna the person, more the presence. I found that the best way to have a good meeting at a record label was to bring Madonna, because she's a personality. It wasn't ever this great musical genius. It was the entire package and her ability to sell herself.
So there were a lot of no's along the road in the early day, but you deeply believed she was going to wind up being a superstar?
Of course. I mean, I've often felt like Chicken Little running around saying the sky is falling. Everyone's going to me, what? I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm saying you will understand. There's a bigger vision here. And I think the first go-around yielded all no's, everyone. And it's a process in the industry. I mean, you do have to go through a number of passes towards your ultimate goal. And ultimately, I got Columbia Records to really, really get involved and listen and pay attention to her.
Now, unfortunately, there came a rather nasty parting of the ways that wound up in a ugly lawsuit. What actually happened?
Well, while I was working with Columbia and trying to get a deal, Madonna was basically working with another set of people in the music industry. It's a very funny business. You don't know you have a hit until people try to steal it from you. Then you know you have it, and it's time to really scramble. And unfortunately, my company was 4 years old, and I really believed in what I was doing with Madonna, and I had a certain approach, and unfortunately, I think with every part of Madonna's life, I wasn't moving as quickly as she wanted to move.
Did you pretty much sacrifice everything and put everything else on the back burner to put her towards stardom?
Yes, I begged, I borrowed, I cajoled people to loan me money to begin her career. It takes a lot of money to put together a career. I lost everything in the process. I lost my studio. I had to drop all my other artists, but it was worth it. I knew she would be the ultimate success.
Now, unfortunately, you didn't get in on the winning end of the return. Have you ever figured out how much money you may have lost because of the fact that she went on elsewhere?
Well, first off, I did get on the winning end. I wanted to discover and develop and manage a superstar, and I did do that. So for me, it's a total success. But for the sake of dollars and cents, I think it's about $30 or $40 million. I had a contract for 20% of her gross. So I guess over the years, that's the figure.
I think, though, that's what's wonderful is that you're still smiling about it and that tonight you shared some secrets with us.
I learned a lot. I mean, it was a wonderful experience, and I'm applying it to the clients that I have today.
That's great. Let's take a listen now to one more of Madonna's never-released tapes, and we're going to watch it along with some never-before-seen photographs from Camille Barbone's collection. This is the music of Get Up. It's got that sound. Camille, thanks so much for playing the tapes and for such an amazing background on a star we only thought we knew. I think we should go back to the party for some more fun.
Wonderful. Thanks, Robbie.
Just ahead, we'll meet the former boyfriend who clinched Madonna's first record deal, only to lose her love. Stay with us.